question.
All right, guys, so this is April 20th, and we're starting chapter 10 in the Dogs book. So I'm going to go through a couple examples with you guys, and I'm going to get some help from my family. The idea behind chapter 10 is we're going to create a physical representation. The first part of that involves getting some people involved, actually getting people up there moving around and seeing what we can do. Okay. The other ones is more manipulatives, and you can do that without people, but we'll start here with this one. So if you guys could turn to page 267, I'm going to read along with the first question. And this problem is the reason this book is called Crossing the River with Dogs. Okay. So it says, jackals and coyotes. 3 jackals and 3 coyotes are on a trek across the Makalani Plateau when they come to a river filled with carnivorous fish. There's a rowboat in sight, and the party decides to use it. Both species are known for their cleverness. However, the boat is too small to hold any more than 2 of the group at any time, so they must traverse the river in successive crossings. There's one hitch, though. The jackals must not outnumber the coyotes at any time, in any place. For example, if 2 jackals and only 1 coyote are together on the western side of the river, the problem is reduced to simple subtraction. The jackals will overpower, kill, and eat the coyote. It's okay to have an equal number of each, and it's also okay to have more coyotes than jackals in a given place. Neither situation poses a danger to the coyotes, and the coyotes do not pose a threat to the jackals. The trick here is to use one small rowboat, a lot of sweat, a little brain power, to ensure the coyote's safety while both groups cross the river. So the idea is, okay, if this is the river right here, we're going to practice with people, and so I'm going to get my kids involved, and we're going to use some props, some of our stuffed animals from when they were growing up. Okay, so if you guys would come over, my daughter Annika and my son William are going to help me out here just a little bit. Okay, these 3 animals here, the darker colored ones, are going to be the jackals, and the lighter colored ones over here are going to be the coyotes. So at first, I'm going to just see if they can figure out the problem without going through the answer, because this is the whole point of it, right? See if we can get some props involved and do it. So what do you guys think? If I got to get all 6 of these animals to the other side of the river without any coyotes getting eaten, how are we going to do? What could be a good first step, you guys?
2 of these.
Okay, so we take 2 jackals and they cross the river. Okay, so now I've got 2 jackals on that side, and that's okay because the coyotes outnumber the jackals, so we're okay. But the boat's over here. Okay, so now to come back, we have to take a jackal back. Okay, and we're still okay. We still have more coyotes than jackals. What would be a good next step?
2 more.
2 more jackals or coyotes? What do you guys think?
2 more. Coyotes.
Okay. We can take 2. Okay, so now we're okay. We've got 3 jackals on this side, 3 coyotes on that side. The boat's over on this side, so we have to
Bring it back.
Okay. Okay, so we're still okay. We got 2 jackals on this side, and we've got 3 coyotes and a jackal on this side. What would be a good, what do you think next? Okay, you can speak louder, William, so everybody can hear.
Sorry. 2 coyotes to have even out.
Okay, so if we bring 2 coyotes over, that's fine. 2 coyotes, 2 jackals, 1 of each on this side, so we're okay. All right, so here's where we run into a little trouble, though. Okay, so what am I going to bring back, you guys?
Bring back 1 of each.
Okay, why couldn't I bring back just 1 jackal?
Because then there'd be more coyotes.
Well, that's okay. I can have more coyotes than jackals, but what happens on this side of the river?
There's more jackals than coyotes.
Ooh, yeah, more jackals than coyotes, and they eat the coyote. Not good. Okay, so Annika's suggesting we bring 1 of each back. Okay, which is still okay, right? They're equal numbered. What do you think now, guys? They're processing, and this is exactly what you would be doing if this was something you were working on your own. So what are we gonna do?
2 coyotes.
Okay, so they agreed upon 2 coyotes. We're gonna bring 2 coyotes over. That gives us 3 coyotes and a jackal over here, so that's okay. And 2 jackals left over here. Who's going back?
Jackal.
Jackal's gonna come back. Okay, that's fine. We got 3 coyotes over here. And now we have a pretty simple solution, right? Because we have all the coyotes on the other side of the river. So 2 jackals.
Yep.
And a jackal comes back. And then 2 jackals and everybody's over. All right. Thank you guys. I'll bring you in for another problem here in just a second. Okay, so how are we going to show that on paper? Okay, we worked it out together as a group. That helps us think through the process, but how are you going to show me that you know what you're doing? This is just an example of how I would do it, okay? This is pretty much the same mock-up that we just did together. So this shows where we started, 3 coyotes and 3 jackals on the left side of the river. And then if we underline 2 jackals, we decided to bring 2 jackals over to the other side first. This next row for number 2 represents what we would have. 3 coyotes and a jackal on the left side because 2 jackals left, and 2 jackals on the right side. And then because the boat's on the right side, we could bring a jackal back, giving us 3 coyotes, 2 jackals, and 1 less jackal on the right side. And then we follow the process until we're left with just 3 coyotes and 3 jackals on the right side. Okay, so take a minute to look through that. That's kind of how these problems have to look, you guys, in order for me to understand what's going on. All right, I've got one more example to work through with you here, guys. So if you would turn to page 268, I'm going to read through this, and then I'm going to get some help from my kids on this one as well. Okay, so it says horse trader. Once upon a time, there was a horse trader. One morning, the horse trader bought a horse for $60. Just after noon, the horse trader sold the same horse back to the original owner for $70. He then bought it back, again, just before 5 p.m. for $80. By midnight, he managed to sell the horse back to the original owner for $90. Seems like a fiasco, right? How much did the horse trader make or lose on this horse? It's one of these problems that's kind of hard to keep track of at first, and so what we decided to do, I gave each of my kids, if you would come over here again, Annika and William, thank you. I gave each of my kids $150 in Monopoly money, okay? And Annika here, I'll have her come over to this side. She is going to be the horse trader. And William is going to be the person that sells the horse at first.
Take the horse.
Okay? So, the very first step. One morning, the horse trader bought a horse for $60. Okay? So, spending $60 on the horse. Okay? And so the horse trader has a horse and $60 less. And the person that sold the horse is $60 richer. Okay? Then, the horse trader sold the horse back to the original owner for $70. All right, so the original owner had to pay the horse trader $70, and now the original owner has the horse back, okay? He then bought it back, again, just before 5 p.m. for $80. So now the horse trader is going to spend $80, okay? And then right before midnight, he spent $90 for the horse, okay? And we're back to where we started. Now the question was, well, how much money did we make? You know, when you think, well, we went from 60 to 70 to 80 to 90, we did that 4 times, are we 40 bucks ahead or 40 bucks behind, or is it even less than that? I don't know. Well, here's the deal. We both started with $150, right?
Yes.
Okay. The horse trader and the original horse owner, how much do we have now? How much do you have, William? $130, but he started with 150, so he ended up losing 20 bucks. That means you have
170.
$170 and gained $20. Now clearly we can say that the horse trader made $20 on this transaction. Okay, so that's the job for you guys. Take a look at those couple examples and then give them a shot. Thanks.